Auth66. I can't believe that I gave in to Tara, although I should actually believe that I gave in to Tara. It's hard to say no to her. So this begins my journey, and I guess what better way to start this journey than to talk about last week. I put a super long post up earlier. Didn't go past the limits of LinkedIn though, which is usually what I have to do. I have to tailor what I'm saying. But I got a chance to thank, the board in general, both the new people and the people who helped vote me in, and kind of who created the space that I've been so welcomed by. And the problem is that there's just too many people to thank that post could never really sum it up. So I did say I would make a video about this specifically, and I'm pretty sure this will end up being over a couple of videos, or I might say thank you in a couple of videos as well. I will try to say the least, which I'll call out at the very beginning of my journey as one of my weaknesses in speaking, because I say a lot. This was intentional though, so that's okay. So where to begin? I think I could start with the biggest thank you to my girlies, Elle and Tara. This past year, getting to know you both on a deeper level has been amazing. I think, it's very easy in this community to feel a little lonely as a woman, and finding two other really strong, powerful women with similar brains, sometimes shared brains to mine, has been amazing. We have, as we like to call it, golden retriever energy. And I think, there's something super powerful about us all holding space for each other and being, support systems for whatever project we're taking on, whether that be, making a very colorful sticker chart, or, the text message going and checking up going, hey, are you okay? I'm not sure I expected to find that on that personal level in the community, but I have been incredibly grateful for it. And I'm not sure that I know I wouldn't be where I am at this point without both of your support. So I have to say thank you for that. When I think about a conference like this, the community is also it's super prevalent, and there are definitely individuals that I want to thank. But I have to kind of start with the vendor that kind of started it all for us. I really want to shout out to Ninja for having some of the best people in the channel work for you. Our first foray outside of what I would have called, the big software stack at the time was into using Ninja for our RMM. And it was a bit of a breath of fresh air for us to deal with a company where, the relationship seemed to matter more than necessarily how many nodes. And we've kind of sought that in every vendor that we've worked with. We definitely have favorites. Ninja isn't the only one. We love Roost and Huntress, and there's a couple other in there that I will probably shout out at some point or another. But I wanted to start with them because the team was actually super fantastic, and it actually just highlights one of the benefits of going to a community-led event like this. They sent out some of their people that would be more involved in the community, and I was really grateful for that. I'm going to shout out some specific people here. I'm going to shout out thank you to Scott and Gavin. They actually sat down with my team, answered some questions, worked through some of the things that were upcoming, some of the frustrations that we had with different things. And that was really beneficial to my team to feel empowered in what they were doing. Jonathan, as a community person, you rock. The fact that you hooked me up with a one-time print t-shirt of something that I missed out at a conference was amazing. And maybe I shouldn't say publicly that you did that, but it was super appreciated because I might have a thing for collecting Ninja t-shirts. To my oldest and longest Ninja friend, Nicole, it's always a good time when you're there, and we always get into some sort of shenanigans. I appreciate you always making space for me, and seeking me out, because sometimes that belonging piece is just, where are my people at? And if you're the only person who's ever searching, then it kind of feels lonely, but we kind of do a back and forth there, and that's super appreciated. To my new from last year buddy, Dan Myers, it was lovely to see you again. And I'm so sorry that we didn't actually get to play D&D together so you could see my shenanigans, but probably for the best since I think you were the DM at your table. It was lovely to connect with you again. And after, the conversations that we had last year, just seeing that kind of further along and getting to know you a little bit better. To my new ninja friends, Luke and Steven, thank you for the ill-gotten, illicit, I don't know what the right word is, stickers. I won't show them on camera so that neither one of you get in trouble, but I super appreciate it. When I say that I am, grateful for the ninja family, I don't actually mean just the ninja employees too. I mean other users that show up in both the MSP Geek chats and on the ninja Discord, or when there's something public, they make me feel welcome as well. That's a shout out to David, Dave, Robert. I love the picture that we got. I'm sure there's somebody I'm missing from that group picture, but I appreciated being included in it, and it's its own little family in and amongst the larger ecosystem. I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the other admin members that were involved in planning, people like Kevin and Saduki who went so much time to this. There's, people who helped out with, painting minifigures, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss thanking everybody, but if you were involved in planning this year's conference, I am so grateful for you. To my chat friends, the ones that I end up talking to randomly, I may or may not have had a chance to connect with you, but I want to use this time to say thank you, because I knew that there was a chance of me, even for a moment, having a friendly face around or a friendly voice. A shout out to Harry, who actually came by our office today, which, something I think people should encourage. But Harry, Ryan, Cassie, Jason, I brought Canadian chocolate and snacks, and y'all indulged. And to some of my new friends, one in specific, I'm going to say a huge shout out to Zach. Not only did you make some of my team feel welcome, but you really opened up, and we had some really good conversations about how, this industry kind of is an ecosystem and supports each other, both the vendor and the MSP side, and how that looks in terms of communication. Two long-standing friends from Vegas, which was just in March, so not that long-standing. John, your wife Ashley is an absolute treat, and I loved every minute of getting to know her. She was amazing with our staff here and super made them feel welcome. And her weird bag of tricks of things that she brought to the party made everything better. To the board members that I hadn't met before, I'm going to single you out because I think there was a few of you that either got to know me or got to know my team on a deeper level, which was great because I hadn't had a chance to interface with you before. So, both, I'd talked to Jason before, but not on a super deep level. Getting to know Jason, getting to know Michael, and to a small extent, Darren. It was another layer of understanding who I'll be working with for this mandate. And, it was appreciated that in most cases it was like you sought me out to be able to kind of understand and make me feel welcome. I think that's kind of like the beauty of this whole community. If you knew about the event and you didn't click by and you didn't send a technician, I really want you to think about what you're doing by holding back your people. There is a fear that comes with sending somebody and maybe they get poached or maybe they grow beyond you. But I think the fear really should be is, what if we're not growing as an industry? What if we are staying stagnant and we're not helping each other? The amount of things that I've learned from people in the community in the last year is absolutely amazing. I'm actually going to shout out somebody specific here. One of the first people I sat next to, I think it might have been on the opening keynote last year, was actually Brandon Martinez. And Brandon, I think he made like a little bit of small talk. I wasn't really sure what to say. I can't even remember the conversation per se, but it was a couple times during the conference that we had connected. And then, through Discord chats or whatever, I had had a chance to ask him some questions. And then I would see him on the rock calls, and then I saw him in Vegas, and, the friendship kind of built over time. And always trying to be respectful of, his place at his MSP. I'm not looking to poach Brandon. Don't worry, BJ. That's not even possible, I don't think, at this point. But I think, it's a dance where you try to figure out what you can ask of somebody. And I have been so surprised by the ways that he's been able to show up and answer questions for me, and have been privileged to be able to do the same for him. I think this is just an example of the types of relationships. I'm an owner, right? Should Brandon's boss be afraid of me? No, because I'm not trying to steal Brandon. Nobody really wants to steal Brandon. They could borrow his brain for a second. And in doing so, Brandon's development is going to be bettered, because when he needs to borrow somebody else's brain, that's going to happen as well. I think the idea of a rising tide raises all ships is really important to remember. You should send your people to events like this, especially community-driven ones, because it's less about vendors, it's less about buying things, and it's more about how can we all be better? How can we all grow together? And I think from everything I've learned through the interview process, that is the mandate of how things are going to proliferate for the MSP Geek community. And I think that, holding your people back from that won't be something that saves you. It'll be a disservice. In the end, this community is going to do amazing things, and it's only going to grow. What we've done in the past has been limited a little bit, and I know that the plans are to make it bigger. So I can't wait to be a part of that. And if you have been tagged in this post, but maybe I didn't mention you by name, it's because you probably did something over the last year, whether it be a conversation or something small, that I really appreciated and felt supportive to me. I don't know where I would be on this journey without this community. So I'm just incredibly grateful. So expect over the next 65 days for me to talk about it some more, and talk about all kinds of things like neurospiciness and just what it's like to be a woman in tech, and how you can be supportive, because that's something I want to talk about, and just in general belonging. But hope you join me on this journey, whatever craziness I get up to.